Good morning, everybody. I'm pretty sure we're under a mountain of snow right now, but I think that's a good thing because I think the snow acts as insulation, keeping us warmer. Let's see what it looks like outside. Open. Oh, it's snowy. It's really not that cold in here. I think all of this snow is helping keep the temperature up. One thing I need to do today, the wires, they're connected to my defrosting, I'm not sure what to call these things, my defrosting wires, and I don't want to turn my rear defroster on because I'm worried it'll send the electricity through these and it'll melt this. So I need to put some electrical tape around my wires. Let's go get some breakfast. I think we are going to struggle to get out of here if I'm being honest. Huh. Is it worth trying? We are probably gonna get stuck in the snow because of this. Fuck. I don't actually have one of those fancy ice scrapers, so I'm gonna try to push all of the snow off while I roll my window down without letting it get inside my car. It's not perfect, but I can see through the window. That one is still pretty much invisible. Oh no! Get out of here, snow. It looks like this semi-truck right here is about to try to get out. Let's watch him and see how bad it is. I'm gonna roll the window up a little bit because the snow is blowing in. He's got more weight than I do, so even if he's able to get out, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'll be able to. I'm gonna use a shirt to wipe this off because I still need to be able to see through it. Okay, moment of truth. Let's see if we are stuck. We might be pretty stuck. Nope, we're moving. Come on, car, you got this. You got this. We might be able to make it out of here. I just need to make sure I have momentum so I don't get stuck on like an updraft. Okay, and I got stuck. Okay, reverse. We're gonna go forward. We're gonna try this again. Come on. I made it onto the interstate. I'm not going nearly fast enough. I'm only going 20 miles an hour on a 70-mile-an-hour interstate, but we're on good road again, sort of. I would not necessarily call this good road, but we did not get stuck, and that's what's important. Okay, we're gonna pull off the interstate and then turn around because that's where town is, and I'm still waiting on my heater to get here, so I need to go back to Adair. Holy shit. Okay, this isn't dangerous. Okay, I just gotta say, this car is in really good condition. The anti-lock brakes work, the tires are in good condition. We did not get stuck for more than like 30 seconds. This is actually really impressive. Oh, hey, look at that. The snow plows are already out doing their snow plowing. Good. Okay, we are now safely off the interstate. People keep asking me why I put my parking brake on if I've got an automatic transmission. I do it so I don't put extra wear and tear on the parking gear. Get out of here, snow. See, this is why you see the inside of the wheel wells rust a lot, is because they put salt on the roads, the snow comes up there, and then it pushes the salt in and it just stays on your metal. You want to clean these parts of your car off relatively quickly. Otherwise the salt will destroy your steel. Look at that, state trooper is covered in snow too. Nope, thank you very much. Okay. Okay, now I think that we just wait here until the packages get delivered. Okay, I'm pissed off. This guy is parked generally where I would typically park, except I had to move my car because I knew I would get towed. They didn't tow him, they just plowed around him. I guess good for him, he doesn't need to pay like $100 in parking, but yeah, okay, I'm gonna be happy rather than mad. I'm glad that the snowplow people decided not to tow him. Okay, we got a bunch of stuff here. Okay, it looks like these two are for me. They're big boxes. Honestly, I'm genuinely surprised that they made the mailman still come out here and do this today. Poor guy. The sidewalks are not plowed, so I'm just walking in the middle of the street. I swear to God, fucking Iowa, man. You guys go up there for a second. Okay. They're kind of heavy. Okay, get in there. Okay, I'm pretty sure we should have a heater in here. Hopefully. Come on. Okay, so first, check it out. We got a drill and we got an impact driver. This is for drilling things and taking off really stuck bolts. Haha, yes. Okay, here's the heater, and we need to talk about this for a second because a lot of you guys are gonna get confused. It's got the little port you would plug into your cigarette port, but this is 24 volts. This is not 12 volts. If you see this and you're like, oh, hey, that looks really cool, I wanna use that in my car, and you plug it in your car's cigarette lighter, it will be a quarter as powerful because of the difference between 12 volts and 24 volts. The reason that we ran that whole wire through here is so that I could have these cigarette ports be 24 volts. These will support this, your car's outlet won't. It's made out of some pretty cheap plastic, but it is supposed to have like a thermal fuse in there to make sure that it doesn't get too hot. Let's plug it in, and I guess. And then I'm gonna see how much power that's drawing from my phone. I love this thing. The fact that I can look at this through Bluetooth means I can see exactly how much current is coming through here. Oh, I can feel it. Whew. This thing is pulling 350 watts. This is pulling a lot of power. One thing that I wanna watch out for is I wanna make sure that all of my connections are in there really good to make sure that there's no weak points. Yeah, gotta make sure all of these things are plugged in really well. Okay, it does not have tip over protection, so it does not know whether it's up or down or left or right. So you need to make sure that it is properly stuck somewhere and it's not going to tip over. I will have a link to this heater in the description of this video, and I will also have a link to a 12 volt to 24 volt adapter to take your 12 volt battery and up it to 24 volts, so you can do what I'm doing. But remember, this is not 12 volts. If you put this in your car in a 12 volt socket, it won't be very warm at all. It looks like the drill and the impact driver, they have their own toolbox. So I got the impact driver specifically for the car because there's a lot of old bolts on here, and having something that can take those off is nice. The reason that I got the drill, this is going to be future plans, but if I decide to go back to Europe, or if I go to South America or South Asia, I'm going to need a place to keep my car, right? I need to park it somewhere. I could possibly ask a friend if I could park it there, but I'm not sure how long I'm going to be gone. I could pay for a garage and pay to park, but I don't want to pay like $300 a month for a car that I'm not using. So what I'm thinking is, I want to purchase some property. Maybe go out to the desert, buy a cheap plot of land for like $1,000 and then build my own garage. So I'm collecting tools. I'm getting tools that I would use for actually building a place like that. And that's what this drill is for. Future plans, but I'm thinking about it. Okay, let's go ahead and put the tools back in the trunk. I don't need them right now. Oh, I also got some stuff to change my oil so I can do that myself. One of my packages did get delayed though. The thing that lets me charge my battery from the alternator, the DC to DC charge converter, that won't get here until tomorrow. So we are still stuck in town until that gets here. RIP. Looking at this, my battery, the battery in the back, going from full to empty, it will only power this for about 10 hours. That is how much power that actually takes, which is good because that means it's producing a lot of heat, but I get 10 hours of use of that before my battery is dead. Okay, somebody just commented on my Instagram story. They said that I should actually try to hang this up because if I leave it like this and it accidentally falls down because of like my blanket, I could start a fire and that would be bad. So if I do have a way to just like hang my heater up from the roof and point it toward me, I think that is a better idea, and it's probably safer because I can't knock it down. Let me just see what my options are for hanging stuff. I mean, it's a little ghetto, but I definitely can't knock that down because like twisting with my blankets or whatever, so that might be a much safer way to use my heater. Okay, so there's some smoke. That's good. What is smoking? My car is smoking. Good. Let's find out why. Let's unplug that. Okay, so some plastic definitely melted. Let me take this off so you guys can see. Look at this. It literally melted a hole in the socket. Apparently that is using too much power for these cheap sockets I've got. RIP. So the reason that this would be getting hot rather than the thing that's supposed to be getting hot is because it means that the connectors, they weren't properly connected to it. The metal pieces, they weren't gripping onto this well enough, and so there was a bad connection causing them to heat up. Rather than breaking out another one, I'm just going to test that with the second one that I've got right here. Going to make sure that everything is plugged in real nice and tight and snug. Oh, you can see here I accidentally put this on the carpet and it melted my carpet. We will just come back into the trunk, open up the toolbox and grab another one, because I do have multiple ports. Now I need to literally shave the melted carpet off of the connector. This is another thing that could be causing a poor connection. There's not like good contact, it's just like one little pin and 2 pins here. If I replace this for a better connector, we might get less heat. See, at the very least, this thing should be flat because that is touching a flat piece of metal on this part. If there's only a small little part of the circle that's connecting the metal, that will get hot. The reason that I think this is the problem right here rather than any of my wiring is because none of my wires were hot. The only things that got too hot were the actual connector, this, and this. This melted my carpet. This was the only part that got hot. So I'm pretty sure my wiring is good. I'm pretty sure the fucking connector these Chinese fucking people put on is just not great. I know that my wiring is good. It is all rated for 30 amps, and we're not drawing 30 amps. You know what? Fuck this. This is not worth risking a fire over. I'm just cutting the whole thing. This is not worth it. Okay, one weird thing about this heater, it has the 12 volt connection that we've seen, or 24 volt connection, but at the end of the wire, it's got like a PC connector, and that's the part that actually plugs into the heater, where it's got 2 connectors, like that. I don't know why they decided to use this PC connector, because this is literally what you use to plug in like a computer. This is supposed to be 120 volts. Yeah, it says 120 or 250 volts. The people that made these connectors did a really shitty job, but we're going to use these. And then I'm just going to cut this, connect this to the actual battery, and then we'll plug the heater in and out using these guys. First thing, we're going to cut off the cigarette port. Now we've just got a red and a black wire. We're going to separate these two, and then we're going to splice some connectors on them. Okay, we got the 2 wires. I'm going to feed this up under the bottom of the console right here because I want this guy to sort of be dangling out. There's not a good way for me to drill it in the console like I did with the cigarette ports, so we're just going to have this little nub hanging out right here. Pull the wire up through the hole that we made in the bottom, crimp the connectors on. Okay, here we go. This will be a much stronger connection, and it should not get nearly as hot because it'll have more contact area. Okay, there we go. This is how we will plug the heater in now. We have the wires connected down here. They should be very strong, very high amperage connections. I guess all we got to do now is plug it in. Where'd it go? Okay, and then we will monitor for smoke, I guess. It does work. It's producing heat. We're pulling 30 amps from the battery, so that means there's roughly 15 amps coming through here. Now we just smell for smoke. Okay, so it's dangerous, but I'm going to come touch these things just to make sure that nothing is getting too hot. Nothing should be hot. None of these connectors should be... Nope. Yep. No heat. No heat coming through there at all. We're good. So just curious, are there any bets for how long it'll take me to light my car on fire? I want to know what the general opinion is. Melting plastic does not count. I would need to like, what would count as an actual fire? Flames. You need to actually see flames for it to count. Melting plastic is not a fire. Okay, I'm going to start putting everything away because I'm pretty sure I fixed it. I'm pretty sure that this is a stable, non-fire hazard now, unless it like tips over. Because of that shorter cable, I can't hang it up anymore to where it's basically stuck right here. I might want to use some Velcro or something. I don't want to use Velcro because I don't want to make it look more ghetto than it already is. I'm not gonna lie, in my head, I thought about this heater making my entire car warm and comfortable just like my engine does. It's not really though. It's more like a tiny little fire that I've got to like be really close to. Hopefully it'll take the edge off like early in the morning when I'm first waking up. It'll make me a little bit more able to get up and get dressed, but it's definitely not putting out as much energy as I thought it would in my head. I won't lie, it is nice when your feet are cold though. This is nice. Okay, update. This makes it so much more comfortable. Like having cold feet is probably one of the most uncomfortable parts of doing this. This fixes that. Like the rest of my body is warm. It's just my feet. Love this. Oh, hey, while I'm here, I can go ahead and fix my Christmas lights. So you see this little metal thing? That is one end of the rear window defroster. And this is the other end. The lights are literally connected from here to here, and I'm pretty sure that these are just metal wires, which means if I turn my rear defroster on, the electricity would go straight through my Christmas lights, and it would probably start a fire or melt them or something. So I need to put some insulator on these to make sure that the electricity goes through the glass rather than through the wire. It's not super critical. I could just never turn on my rear window defroster, but I want that functionality, so it's easy to fix. Okay, we will pull these lights out and then wrap our tape around right there. Okay, fuck, I'm worried. I'm gonna turn it on now and we're gonna see if there's a fire. Rear defroster turned on. I don't see any smoke and the lights are still working. Now let's see if we actually see the defroster do defrosty things. I'm pretty sure we're watching it melt in real time. Perfect. Now I'll finish cleaning up and then I think that I'm done installing stuff for today. And when I'm done with the heater, I just unplug it. And then I think that I can just store it here under the seat like that. Oh, hey, I know that a lot of you guys have been wanting to see what the lights look like from outside of the car. You can really only see them from the back. They're honestly pretty covert, aside from, you know, that large strip in the back right there, but I think it's pretty good. Okay, yeah, you can definitely tell that a person's in there, but that's fine. They're bright enough. That's what matters. I think one of the reasons that this doesn't feel as warm as the heated seats do is because this is just dissipating the heat into the air and it's losing it through the windows, whereas the heated seats, that's going straight into me. I'm the only person absorbing that. So I think that this is just destined to be less effective. I'm still going to be using the sleeping bag. I am not going to lie. This is it. This is super comfortable, honestly. Oh, and this is going to make editing so much easier. Typically when I'm editing, I have my hands out on my keyboard and my hands get really cold. This is going to be good for like just keeping my hands warm. Oh, that's going to be so nice.